Yeah, that sounds like something a rebel would say, Scrivener. Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Today's main focus is going to be on Insurrectionist ships, or ships that I'll be using for the Insurrectionist faction. There we go. That working, get myself comfortable. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so if I sound like shit, it's because I feel like shit, so there's that. Right now I'm taking this ship, which was featured in the Halo Legends short Origins, and someone made a really nice 3D model I was able to get my hands on, so I want to go for like a Insurrectionists are using like older and outdated ships, really anything they can get their hands on sort of vibe, and very rare will they get access to like newer proper UNSC or CMA warships. You know, it just, to me, that makes a whole lot more sense than them just for some odd reason being able to regularly access straight up military hardware, some of the most expensive things in the Halo universe for the UNSC. Makes no sense. So, this be that. Right now, separating it up into parts. So. So that way it looks nice and purty. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'll do all these can be one object. There we go. Okay, I don't know why, but my music has been bugging out, so hopefully now you can hear it a little bit better. Yeah, it's sort of like an early version of a frigate. I mean, that's kind of what it's... There's not a whole lot of descriptions about this in the wiki, so I mean, a lot of it's just kind of be up to the interpretation and a vague idea of what was what and all that. Like, I don't even know where the fuck I'm gonna put the bridge. I guess right up here. Tiny little bridge right up here. It does have a Mac gun, a very early, crude version of a Mac gun. I'm guessing these are supposed to be like magnetic coils or something on both sides. Not really sure, but I'll probably, if they're not already separated out, yeah, I'll separate these out so that they can have like a orange coppery look to them. But right now we're just yeah, that looks good. is so weird. Why did it separate this one out, but not the rest of these? The auto separate tool, like by loose parts, is sometimes super janky. I want to combine those. And then I want to separate these out, but here's the problem: if I do that, it just auto-selects all that, so... The twin-barrel frigate. I don't know what you mean, the twin-barrel frigate. Also, 2 for flinching I don't think had twin barrels. I think, I'd have to... I don't even know if 2 for flinching was a frigate. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's technically 2 for flinching was a fast attack corvette. That's what it says. From the book, that's what the description is. This is the other, I think, let me see. These are all the ships that I'm gonna have for the rebel navy, so to speak. This one does not have a Mac gun, as you can tell, but it is also an early version of that kind of frigate design, but like a really, really crude, you know, early colonial era stuff. You've got the Geneva frigate, which also does not have a Mac gun. This is another Fanon design, I believe. I can't find anything about like a different reference for this, but it's based on someone else's design. I don't think these are 2 Mac guns. I'd have to go back and look at the description as to what this is supposed to be. But it's called the Providence. That's what they called it. There's also not a wiki article entry for the UNSC 2 for flinching. Oh, hold on. Yeah, no, yeah, there is. Yeah, the UNSC Fast Attack Corvette. It looks like this. This is what the Fast Attack Corvette is. It's frigate-esque. Like it's, you know, there's some elements of a frigate design in there. But in the article it says Obviously the UNSC Lancer, lead ship of the class, because they all named after their first ship. But it says, while not specified by class name, the UNSC 2 for flinching has been described as a fast attack corvette, indicating that it may also be considered part of the Lancer class. So I don't think there's an actual model for this anywhere yet already in existence. So I'll probably have to make one, which will take a minute because I kind of suck at 3D modeling right now. But I mean, there's some pretty basic design shapes here. And let's see, what's the scale that I'm working with here? 341 meters long. So that's pretty. It's a big corvette, but it's still significantly smaller than a frigate. Like I think the smallest UNSC frigate might actually be the Anlace, which is a post-war frigate, and I don't care for the design of the Anlace either. The Santiago, I don't know about that one either. Oh, this fan design here, yeah. I've looked at this a little bit. I don't hate it so much. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely an interesting design. But I don't know. I'm just not totally sold on it yet. Plus, I don't know, having two Mac barrels that far spread apart, I don't know. Big cannon on the back too. Yeah, I've seen this before, and it's like I said, it's not like I don't hate it, but I just don't love it, you know. There's other like side by side UNSC designs that I like a little more. I think there's a destroyer that's like that, but they're like right next to each other, which makes a little bit more sense to me. I mean, this thing would have to be relatively tiny for the barrels that are spread, for the big sections of ship that are that spread apart. I mean, I don't know. Plus this whole unarmored middle section. I mean, UNSC ships are already notorious for their interesting design choices when it comes to like structural integrity and armor and all that. Hello, Venom. Yes, I will be when I start work on that stuff. You know, it'll be kind of like touch and go in the beginning. Oh, see, this is super weird. This is like another take on that, it looks like. With the, it's essentially someone's just kind of like taken the center part of a frigate and then split it in half and then pasted it on both sides. But it just still kind of looks odd. Like, I don't know, making flat large sections of UNSC ships is real tricky. I have this one, which is flat, but it's for anyone who's seen my personal favorite short from Halo Legends, which is the one with Spartan 1337, which is for some reason the only non-canon one in there, even though it breaks the least amount of lore among almost all the other shorts. It's the Mama frigate. Maybe the booster frame? Yeah, I mean, I've got a booster frame model as like a small fighter and all that. Not sure how that's actually going to end up being implemented in game and in combat. But yeah, this is what I have so far for the Rebel ships. You know, just kind of like experimental stuff, really old, outdated things, non-specific combat roles that they're trying to like weaponize. So this will have like some turrets and missiles on it and all that. I'll slap on there. Pretty basic stuff. Really, the only things that'll have a Mac gun on it are these three ships here. And they'll be not as strong as the more modern UNSC arsenal, but yeah, this is gonna be a pain in the ass to. Let's see how this goes. Yep, I've already selected something I didn't want to select, but that's fine. All that stuff should be nice and sealed, so I should be able to do these big swaths of selection. The Condor, the Halo Infinite design is probably the one that I'll be going with, or some variation of that, as I don't like the Halo 4 and 5 designs of the Pelican, and the Condor from Halo Wars and most other media is heavily based on the Halo 4 and 5 Pelican, and I'm just not a big fan of the super curvy looking stuff. Yeah, I like my women angular, apparently. No, but Pelican for sure. A couple different versions of the Pelican. And the Condor. See, the condor is tricky because most of the instances where we see a condor in Halo is in the post-war era, which I will not really be touching. And the only instance where it's not directly stated that it was, you know, before the post-war era, but there's a version of the Condor where they don't have a lot of details on when it was actually manufactured, and that would be the one that looks more like the Halo Infinite design or the classic Pelican design. And so I may do something with that, especially given that the Condor is like the UNSC's smallest vehicle that also has a slipspace drive. Have I considered making my own kit bash designs? Yeah, on a few things. I have some early designs for different UNSC stuff, but there's a lot of fanon designs for things that I really like, and so I want to try to get to those first. Obviously, after I've talked to all the people who came up with those designs or commissioned them, which I've already pretty much done for everything I already want to use. I've talked to either the, well, not either, both the artist who, you know, drew it or modeled it or whatever, and the person who commissioned them with the original concept. Because I don't want to just go up and just take someone else's stuff and not talk to them about it. Because that sucks. And I ain't about that life. It doesn't exist to me anyway. I love you too, baby. Oh, okay. Apparently she doesn't love me, only artists love me. That's what my fiance just told me. That's what she just said. She said, I don't love you, artists love you. Those are her words, guys. Clip it. Clip that, chat. This is YouTube. I don't know if you can clip that shit. I think I have to clip it, which I'm not doing. But yeah, no, there's a lot of really awesome community designs out there already that I'd really love to get to. Designs that I wish would be, you know, official canon designs, like the Thanatos or the Artemis, or a lot of really awesome stuff that the lovely team over at Choke Point Games have come up with. And thankfully I have a lot of their designs. Not their actual models, though. But eventually it will be out on Creations. I think once I rework the Pillar of Autumn here, soon-ish, and I update that on Nexus, I'm going to see about getting it functioning for Creations. And now that I've got, the only things that are custom on it are the geometry right now, obviously. I don't think the Pillar of Autumn uses any custom textures right now. But I've figured out how to do the texture exports and formats in the way that Xbox needs them, because you can't just do things for Xbox the same way you do it on PC. There's different requirements. Xbox has different limitations, and so it needs to be polished in a way that makes it usable and not as buggy, which a lot of mod authors won't actually do. because it takes time usually, and they don't like optimizing things for Xbox, or at least that seems to be the case for some mod authors in Starfield. I don't know what that's all about, but that's them, and that's their mods, so they can do what they want with them. But as for me and the stuff that I'm going to be working on, anything that's going to be in the project, directly used by me, anything like that, especially anything that I make personally, the goal is, yes, to get as much on Xbox as I'm able to get on Xbox, as a former Xbox user myself. This is let's see. Yeah, there's a couple on Xbox, I think. But I don't know. I haven't used an Xbox for mods for Starfield in so long. Oh, that's annoying. Why is that like that? Oh, that's super annoying. I'll have to make a bridge between these two. Yeah. Well, I have an Xbox. I just don't own Starfield on my Xbox. I had it through Game Pass, and I don't have Game Pass anymore. So, mostly because I spend most of my time on PC, where I don't need it. Well, thank you, Cody. I appreciate your appreciation and your support. Having a somewhat Halo Starfield playthrough. Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Oh, fuck. Oh, maybe this wasn't, yeah, those weren't selected. Okay, so... Yeah, there's a new, I don't know who it's by. There's a new Deimos, like, ship parts creation. It's a paid creation. But, I've seen some really gnarly Halo ship builds using that mod. And they look pretty cool. But, honestly, the ship replacer mod that I'm working on right now, which all this stuff is going to be a part of, that is probably going to be easier to get on Xbox than anything else. The only thing I need to do before I can get that uploaded to creations and all that, so that it's good and functional and will not cause any issues, other than if you have Play Stores yourself installed. I'm almost certain that virtually all of my mods that relate to ships or star stations are going to have an issue with that mod, because it modifies and interrupts so much of the base ship building and like in-game ship construction process when the game is trying to build the ships to load them in and all that, because it has to do that each time that a new ship instance is loaded in. which is, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully that whatever new unknown update is coming soon may change that. We'll see. I don't know what's gonna be in it, but they said they're reworking space travel and whatever the hell that means. So. Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to play the Watchtower mod, but it looks like a lot of fun. Different Spartan armors to random NPCs in different areas, like green Carter armor in the Star Station. Oh, nice. Make sure I have all that stuff. Might be easier to check it from the inside. Yeah, it looks like everything. I'll know for sure once I try to separate it. And there's bits missing. Yeah, if you use play stores yourself, that's going to conflict with probably a lot of other people's ship mods. Unless they have a patch for it, and as I've explained numerous times, I'm just not going to be making a patch for play stores yourself, because that's a lot of extra work and tediousness on having to rely on someone else's mods being updated regularly that I'm just not going to do. If someone else wants to make a patch for that stuff, you know, as long as they make sure to credit all the original mod authors, of course, and all that fun jazz, they are more than welcome to once my mods are out, to make a patch for that. But it's just not something I'm going to do, mostly because my ships aren't even going to be modular to begin with, at least not most of them, not any of the ones I have planned right now. Maybe I'll have like a specialized UNSC ship, and I don't want to say more than likely, I don't want to give like hard, you know, not deadlines, but like hard statements about what my plans are for that kind of stuff for my ships. But I've been rooming over the concept of doing a civilian ship that's somewhat modular, like a cargo vessel that's got some modularity on it. But that's all still in like the concept phase. It'll probably, if I do end up doing that, it'll probably end up being that that cargo transport ship that you see in Halo Reach, and then I think it's in a map in Halo 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. One of those two. On a planet that's being attacked by the Covenant. So, let me make sure I've got all that. Yeah, I would do X-ray view, but there's a lot of extra stuff here that I don't want to capture. And so right now, in my weakened state, it'll just be kind of disorienting for me. get all of it in one go. Isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely? Do I have anything on this side? No, I don't. Can I get it all in one go? Let's find out. No. No. Okay, this time I might actually use, there we go. Oh, missed all this stuff too. God, right now this all just looks like dots to me. Currently can't build mechs though, might be a mod conflict. Yeah, more than likely. Some of the faces seem triad, others not. I think they're all triad by default right now. This was made, I don't think in Blender. I think this isn't, I didn't make this model. Someone else did. And I think they made it in like, God, CAD maybe? I don't know. It's a 3D modeling software is what this was made in. Well, never mind. I'm an idiot. It's a 3D printing software is what this was made for, like specifically. I think that's good. Make sure all the right stuff is selected. Yeah, that looks good. Let's hide it, see if anything else is sticking out. Oh, I think that might count. Yeah, it does. Okay. What are you over here? Where are you? The hell? Oh, sneaky little bastard, I see. Yeah, I got another one. See over here. Yep, there's stuff right here I missed. Looks good, although I'm picking up some of that stuff I don't think I need to be picking up. I might need to be picking it up. Oh, I guess I am. Yeah. Never mind. Oh, but I missed that. Yeah, AutoCAD is a nightmare. When I did some CAD stuff when I was a machinist, CAD is a fucking hellscape. I would rather work with 3ds for all my 3D software and everything, all my modeling. Excuse me, and never use Blender again, than work with CAD. for 5 more minutes. Any other Prowler classes? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing all the Prowlers, all the ones that we have, you know, known models for, or known, like, this is what it looks like. So I've got a Winter class Prowler model that I'm trying to get set up and functioning the way I would like, which is a nightmare because I'm trying to set it up as a landing bay, but it doesn't seem to want to do that right, and it might be the landing bay I'm using. I might need to use a different one, but I don't know. Landing bay stuff seems super cursed in the creation kit for some fucking reason. So I might have to get someone else's help with that. And then I've got a oh fuck, what are they called? A Razor class Prowler. I've got a pretty decent model for that I need to get cleaned up. And then that'll be good to get in game. And then I've got a Sahara, that's what it's called, a Sahara class Prowler that I want to get polished up and then ready in game. And then I've got oh, what's it called? Hold on. Open a new Blender page up. I might have it in here, I might not. No, not that one. One sec. There's a point blank. Yeah, this is probably the more known one. I've got a couple different fan design ones, like the Erebus, which is the big brother to the point blank, and then the Hannibal. Hannibal is like a more frigate-y looking kind of prowler. It's pretty big. It's got specialized Mac guns. And this is like a really blocky design right now. I need to clean this up and separate it out, but it's got that angular plating and all that. But this one, I think this is a Canon design actually, the point blank. Pretty sure this is in Canon. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain it is. And it's like a bigger prowler. I think it's the biggest Canon prowler. The prototype armor? Oh, you mean the mech suit? You talking about, I don't know that I have that exact instance of it. I want to say that's probably in my... What folder would that be in? NPCs, maybe? No. I don't think it's under clothing. I might not have it installed or downloaded, rather. No, I might might not have it installed, but I do have a good model of Johnson's prototype armor version from Halo Wars 2. Along with all those lovely mechs. Like the Colossus, my beloved. Colossus looks so goddamn sick. It might be under vehicles too, actually. Hold on a minute. It might not. I might not have it. But, oh yeah, no. Yeah, I do have it. This has the animation stuff. Big ass mech. This thing's pretty big. I don't even know where the player would sit in this thing, or to have it, you know, like where a person would sit. But I want to say it's like in this part right here, maybe. I mean, here makes sense, the most sense, but like, fuck would you get up in there? You know what I mean? I've seen concept art where I'm pretty sure it's like this little thing right here, and the person gets in it. But I'll have to look at that again. I also have concept art of like the early version of this, where it was like a four-legged walker thing, which looks really sick. And I'd like to try and like kit bash something like that, where I double the leg things and then add some different stuff to the top and a big base sort of thing, and then slap some NPCs on there, have it look really sick. I mean, technically there are robots in Halo, it's just not in the same fashion as like how we see it in Starfield. I mean, there's lots of drones. There's the B drone net, which are like the ones you see in Halo 3 ODST. And I think there's a Halo Reach model as well, but it was like cut from the game. And then there is some concept stuff for... Hold on. This guy right here, which I actually do have a model for. I just haven't done anything with it, like at all. But this will be something that's like a probably mid to late war optional thing for the story portion of the mod stuff. For like the basic replacer stuff where you just want Halo stuff in your vanilla Starfield game, then I'll just replace some robots with this, you know, and then just make it like a standard human NPC model. Alexa, dismiss. So just grabbing her. Yeah, I'll be fine. Just a upset stomach. Probably ate something I shouldn't have eaten. I think that's all that stuff is separated. So I can now unhide that. Separate selection. Join. There we go, that's what I want. How do they do this? So it's just that one, and there, okay. Rampant Cortana taking over. Oh man, don't even get me started on all that stuff. Well, see, here's the problem with that notion is that AI in the Halo universe already control a lot of stuff to begin with. They control orbital defense platforms like we see Cortana do in Halo 2. They control ship weapons and firing systems like we see Cortana do in Halos 1, 2, and 3. And smart AI were used for a lot of automation processes, which actually was a good thing. It's one of the things that the UNSC had an advantage over the Covenant, is that while the Covenant do technically have AI, it's not even remotely close to in the same capacity as the UNSC. And in fact, they didn't even need smart AI to perform a lot of those tasks most of the time. Most of those tasks could be done by the quote-unquote dumb AI, which were only dumb in comparison to the smart AI. I mean, Auntie Dot in Halo Reach is technically a dumb AI, but the only thing that separates her functional ability from, like, Cortana is that Cortana was, like all smart AI, one, made from the brain scans of a actual human, which in Cortana's case was the several cloned brains of Catherine Halsey, and smart AI have more akin to sentience or individuality than the dumb AI do. Dumb AI do not and cannot possess that level of sentience, and so technically speaking, dumb AI can never go rampant. Now, before 343 took over, rampancy didn't mean what it means now in the current Halo canon. We won't really know exactly what rampancy was intended in the Halo universe, but based on everything else Bungie did in Halo that was already based on stuff they did in Marathon and their other past games, rampancy was probably just when an AI gains true sentience and, like, can, like, completely disobey orders. Which we actually see some of that in the Halo universe that points in that direction. Like, they start to be less machines and more like an actual living thing, so to speak. Halo 4 Cortana. Listen, buddy. Halo 4 Cortana is hot, and that's about all I can say about Halo 4 Cortana. Uh, I'm probably gonna lean more towards a different version of Cortana, one that's less overtly sexualized, because that's just not what I'm gonna do here. I mean, if someone else wants to get the Halo 4 Cortana model and make a thing where they're like, oh, you can replace the Cortana from this mod with this version of Cortana, by all means, go right ahead. There will be loads of other AI, lots of specific named characters, ones that are both in lore and a lot of new ones. Only thing Halo 4 did right. Listen, Halo 4's got some interesting stuff, and it's like I say about all the 343 Halo games. On their own, objectively speaking, they're fantastic games. And if you don't believe that, you're full of shit. You're just not a fan of true sci-fi, because they're great sci-fi games. They're fun. The story's good, except with Halo 5. Halo 5 had some really weird choices. And outside of that, you know, it all works within the containment of itself as an individual game. The problem is they don't exist as individual containments of their own games. They exist as a part of a franchise and a series, and that means respecting the thing that came before, literally directly before your thing, and they just don't really do that. Halo 4's Cortana and the relationship that it establishes with Master Chief and Cortana just does not exist. Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's my first time I picked up Halo was a demo. It was part of a demo on some other game on the Xbox. I can't remember. And technically Halo 2 had already come out, or I think it was the year Halo 2 was coming out, and I hadn't played it. And then I got my hands on a full copy of Halo shortly after that, and then Halo 2, and then Halo 3 came out, and that was all I would play for a long time, and then Halo Reach came out. Well, actually Halo Wars and Halo 3 ODST came out, and I played a lot of that. I actually loved Halo Wars from the get-go. I was always a fan. The music, the cinematics, the story, the characters. Halo Wars always hit for me. And I know that is not the case for a lot of people. But you know what? It ain't for everyone, and that's okay. But it's definitely for me, and if you're a true fan of Halo, I think it's definitely for you too. Especially if you're a true fan of the original Halo series, or the Bungie run of Halo games. It does Spartans in a really awesome way. It does Marines in a really cool way. You know, Captain Cutter is such a really badass character without being badass in the same way that Captain Keyes was. You know. Oh, can I get away with that? Let's see. Let's find out. It only needs to be that deep, and then we'll just make that a little smaller. No one's gonna notice. Who's to know? No one. That's who. How would they know? Nobody's gonna know. I gotta do it like this, otherwise it just won't pick everything up that I want to pick up. We're going to subdivide. Oh boy. Maybe not. Maybe we don't need to subdivide. Maybe we just need to UV edit. If I can even see where the hell it is. Where the fuck is everything? What the hell? Okay, this is weird. That is odd. It should be letting me mess with the UV stuff or select anything, and I cannot. Why can't I select anything? That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that out some other time then. That's odd. Oh, that sucks. Halo 2 Legendary Edition. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't miss from the good olden days. Was oh, I can just do that from here. Okay, that's useful. Will allow me to. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with cylinder. That's probably the best option. Probably. I gotta figure out why the fuck that happened in the first place, but whatever. So I'm gonna select all that stuff, and then. What happened? Oh, baby. Be careful. Anyway, yeah, that's one thing I don't miss about the good olden days of hard copies is just how often they would just fuck up, and then all of a sudden it's just useless, you know. I mean, for all the issues that arise with the digital copies and that whole debate and all that fun stuff. You know, I'm just glad I don't gotta deal with that shit anymore. Don't want any of you. And then separate selection. There we go. And we're gonna do the same thing here. We're just gonna. Okay, sorry about that. Separate that out. We'll get this stuff separated out. I can't tell if that's attached or not. No, okay, that's a different thing. Gotta get in here and do some precision selecting. Is that? Yeah, it looks like it might be part of it. There's always something that just likes to try and hide from you. I'm gonna assume that's a different part. Same with that. So that's a big no-no. Oh, that's where they all were, okay. Bless you, baby. Yeah, I've got a lot of different variations of the longsword that I'm gonna be including. The longsword, the short swords. Well, there's really only one model for the short sword. Longsword, short sword, the Basilard, the Nandau, and even the broadsword, although I'd like to use a different model for the broadsword because, again, I'm not the biggest fan of curvy UNSC, but if push comes to shove, I'll probably just include the base model just to have it in there for now. But I'd like to use a different model for the broadsword, one that's more in line with the pre-war or pre-post-war, like the Human Covenant War era UNSC designs for things before 343 took over. I forgot I need to do this. Okay, time to see what I have missed. I'll leave that untouched. I'm gonna unselect this. Select that. That's all good. Now we're looking down here. Don't want any of that selected. Or any of this. Unselect. There we go. Oh man, see, the Mulzane actually is one of the only post-war designs that I actually like. The issue is I'm not just going to be including random, just any random Halo stuff. Mostly I'm focusing on human Covenant War era stuff. And doing some slight bridging into post-war stuff if it's something that is feasible for the UNSC to have done or been able to do before post-war era stuff. So like technically speaking, the Infinity is a post-war ship, but it was being worked on and very near completion before the Human and Covenant War era ended, and so I'm fine with including it as a late war UNSC set piece. That being said, obviously with its sheer size, it's not going to be one of the pilotable ships, but it will function as one of the new quote-unquote M-class ships that I'm doing. I call it that just because there's ships that you aren't supposed to be able to pilot, but doesn't mean you won't be able to do nothing with them, so to speak. Okay, one sec. Okay. Yeah. There'll definitely be some opportunities for stuff like that in the quest portion for mod stuff. It's not going to be a very common occurrence. Mostly, I mean, it depends on which thing you choose. If you want to choose the RPG stuff where you have a lot more free reign, then hey, you'll have more opportunities to capture Covenant vessels, but doesn't mean you're going to be able to capture them all. But in lore, the UNSC doesn't actually capture a Covenant vessel until like literally the last year of the war, and by then it really doesn't mean much. It's like right after the events of the first Halo game, I think, is when they capture their first Covenant vessels successfully. Anyway, separate that part out. And And then move on to these coils. Hopefully this will be super easy and I can just, of course not, why would it ever just be super easy? This won't be that hard. I just have to unselect all this shit that I don't want selected. I say as I fuck myself. Yeah, throw more Spartans at them. The problem is there's only a limited number of Spartans until they make Spartan 3s. And when they did make Spartan 3s, they did throw more Spartans at the problem, and sometimes the problem would get solved, but you would lose a lot of your Spartans in the progress. I mean, the Spartan 3s were basically used for what they were intended for, and that was just to throw a lot of advanced bodies at a problem and kind of just delay the Covenant. Now, could they have been used more effectively and in a different way? Hey, you know, that will be up to you to decide, should you choose to. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. You know, you can just... That's how things are gonna go out. You can do things in the fun, new way I'm designing, or you can just be a lore purist and fuck those Spartans, they're all gonna die, essentially. Yeah, mainly, I mean, the main problem was just that they just didn't have enough of that resource to do that effectively. And also, the Spartans on numerous occasions did board and try to capture Covenant ships. I mean, we see that in the books a lot. It's just that all the times we see it happen, it was unsuccessful because Sangheli ship commanders would just scuttle their ships when they got boarded. And so, long before the Spartans had a chance to actually finish their job and capture a Covenant vessel, you know, it just didn't go as planned. And so, their only goal at that point was to try and not lose Spartans when trying to capture a Covenant vessel. That's a problem with the resources like that, like a Spartan, is that it's such a high value resource that you can do so many other things with, that using them on something as risky and not surefire as capturing a Covenant vessel a lot of times just wasn't really worth it, because what have you gained and what have you lost, you know? You might gain some intel and you might gain a decent amount of technological insight, but you've lost, at that time, really the only resource that could get you more of that thing. And so it was a big risk-reward sort of thing, and it'll be a big risk-reward thing when I implement it as well into the story portion. The Covenant Cole Protocol. Essentially, yeah. They were like, I mean, it's not even the Cole Protocol, it's just, it's basic military, you know, tact is just deny, deny, deny. You don't want the enemy gaining more assets than they can reasonably get. You know, if you can deny them access to a valuable resource or information, then you're going to do that at all costs. And for the Covenant, it just wasn't that high a cost to scuttle a ship or a crew or, you know, all that stuff. They just didn't value life the same way that humans do. And it might be you might think it's weird to say that, given that how prone the UNSC and the Office of Naval Intelligence was at just throwing bodies at a problem, knowing that those bodies were going to die. But the disparaging value of life doesn't even come close. I mean, the Covenant would literally just like glass their own troops on the battlefield if they felt like it. If they were glassing a human world, they just didn't give a shit. They saw dying as a good and holy thing to do. So, ancient human ships. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one for me because I'm not particularly a fan of the current lore and state of the relationship between humans and Forerunners. And so I'm not super sure about that. Maybe as like an Easter egg or a cameo sort of thing, but don't expect it to be like a big deal in the same way that the Forerunner stuff is going to be implemented in game. I mean, ancient human stuff would be pretty much setting the tone of the current lore that humans and Forerunner were a separate thing. And, you know, it'll be in the in-lore version of stuff. I'll say that. If it happened during the Human and Covenant War, and it's an in-lore thing that did happen, it'll be there. I'll say that much. But if it's a post-war thing, don't expect to see it. Because I really don't intend to touch on post-war stuff at all. Mostly because I'm focusing on the Human Covenant War timeline. And anything outside of that will be, you know, a big maybe. Oh, hold on. I forgot I had all this stuff selected. I'll leave that selected. I don't really give a shit. Gotta double make sure over here now. Has me paranoid. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. I'll be right back. I'll go use the bathroom.
Hello, it's your girl Vixie, Raven's fiance. I'm here to give you the inside scoop. I just wanted to say thank you all for supporting my mans and his projects.
Okay, I have returned. If the CSO carrier could carry smaller Covenant ships like the Infinity or Epoch? Do you mean Epoch? Well, the CSO is way too goddamn big to function like a ship normally functions in Starfield. Like right now, they don't move, they don't do anything. You can shoot them, they have an object in them that you can interact with, but they don't really do anything. It's 9:07, so we're gonna save this. So let's see. Geometry to mesh first. Panel transforms. Leave that be for a minute. Gotta remember that's where the bridge is. I forgot I need to turn my scene on. I'm so smart. Is my mic even on in BRB? No, it is. Okay. I'm not hopping off just yet. I'm just gonna put a pause to this, and we're gonna take a look at some of the new stuff in game. So we're gonna export FBX. Shit, which one is this? This is the Shackleton. Shit. I don't want to overwrite the wrong thing. Hold on. Let me make sure this is the right one. I forgot my own naming conventions. I'm so good at this. I want to say it was this one. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do all that. Export. FBX. Konsu frigate. Selected. Export FBX. I've got a reach location that I'm doing, and I'm kind of testing the waters with High Charity to see if I can get that working. But High Charity right now isn't working as a moon; it only works as a space station. And it's really buggy at the moment. But with the reach location, I'm trying to get make a planetary, like a little small planetary cell area. And work on getting like a little New Alexandria location going. I've got a lot of buildings and the layout kind of figured out. We're gonna cover in darkness for just a moment. I know it's so scary. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm right here while I open up Starfield. And I'm gonna Turn on game capture. Select Starfield. Yeah, I'm blanking on his username right now, but what's his name? Go Array has a functioning Halo inspired. Just a quick tidbit as oh, is that about to crash? No, okay, there we go. Just a quick tidbit here. A reminder that the Pillar of Autumn mod, the beta, is actually out on Nexus, as apparently some people are unaware of that. Because when you search it up, Halo's not in the title, and if depending on your mod settings, it'll only pull up things that are in the title. Oh, what the hell? That looks so weird. That's so weird looking. That's cool though. Why does it look like that? How did they get at the end? I'll have to reach out to them. Namori. See how they got him to sit like that. That's so cool looking. So weird. That. Okay. We'll just load in here. But Go Array has a functioning like ring world sort of thing, but it doesn't function or look the same exact way that I would like, and so. Oh, that's right. I'm not. No need for that stuff. I changed the texture on a lot of the UNSC ships, so they don't all have that black texture to them. Only a couple of them do, like the Thanatos and the Paris class frigate, and I think a couple others. Most every other ship now is going to be using this more gray texture. The sun's in a really weird spot, so it's kind of hard to tell right now. We've got the Sharon, or Charon, or Charon, however you want to say it. I'm from Texas, so I say Sharon, because I think Cheyenne. It's because I'm locked on to something. And then I've also got, actually I think they can all be viewed from over here. Oh, is it still saying, I forgot to change the name on it. That says Paris Heavy Frigate, but this is not a Paris. This is the Stalwart class light frigate from Halo 2. The Charon is from Halo 3, obviously, and the Paris is from Halo Reach. You can see the Paris there with its black ship texture. Technically it's the same texture, I've just modified it a little bit, but it is a vanilla texture. I just like how this ended up looking. Let's see, and the halberd uses the black ship texture as well. And then the Artemis also uses the black ship texture. I might change some of that, and some of these other dark bits I might change to be a gray texture. I might redo the UV mapping on this too. I don't like how patchy that looks. The Marathon looks pretty great. With this gray texture on it now. Hillsborough, I think, has the gray texture as well. Of course, the Halcyon class, the Flight 1 Halcyon model, based on the classic Pillar of Autumn design. And then I just slapped a UC logo and a bunch of stuff. I haven't bothered to put a UNSC logo in here just quite yet. What else? I did change the Phoenix class model as well. Not the model itself, but the textures. It already had a gray texture on there, but I didn't like how that looked. And it looks a lot better with this new gray texture. A lot less shiny, a lot more to how it looks in game in the Halo Wars 2, or Halo Wars 2, in the Halo Wars cutscenes. We also have this, which I definitely need to redo the UV map. It's all weird and blocky. It like cuts off in this weird space where I cut the mesh. Really need to get some collision geometry on these. But this is the Valiant, no, not the Valiant, the Vindication class light battleship, but it's the Sins of the Prophets redesign. And someone else made this model based on those screenshots, and I got a hold of it, and man, is it purty. I don't like the original design, but I loved the Sins of the Prophets redesign, so when someone showed this to me, I was all on board and hopped on real quick. Yeah, I didn't like being touched. What do I think of Campaign Evolved? There's some things I don't like, some things I do like. I'm cautiously optimistic is what I will say. You know, obviously, you know, there's controversy about Sprint being in the game and some Halo Infinite models and some other stuff, but, you know, it's not going to be an exact copy of the original game, and if that's what you're looking for, then I would say, I don't know, remakes aren't for you, I guess. That's more of a remaster sort of thing than a remake. And we already had a remaster, and it was not received very well for mostly decent reasons. One reason or another. Yeah. There's some new things, you know. I'll be interested to see what the Pillar of Autumn is going to look like. They've shown us a couple things, but we haven't seen a whole lot. The Warthog is not the Halo Infinite Warthog. That is a brand new Warthog design, which I think is actually pretty interesting. It's a really cool modern take on the classic, you know, angular Warthog design, which I like. A lot of people don't like it. That's fine. You know. But overall, you know, I'll wait to see what it looks like when it comes out. But it looks like it's going to be just Halo with some new stuff. That's they've talked about potentially redesigning some levels, which sounds interesting. There's the new prequel missions, which I'm really excited about, with new models entirely, new ships, new other stuff, which sounds really fun. We got the Epoch here with that same gray texture. And then the Punic, which I did redo and touch up as well. Looking really nice. Oh, but that stuff still looks weird. I don't know why that still looks odd. I'll have to see about putting a different texture on that then. In all honesty, I probably just need to redo the UV mapping on that material for the Punic, because it just doesn't want to play nice. You can see I was almost right above the center of the Punic, and the closest you can get to it, and it's still more than 200 meters away. This thing is thicker than the UC Vigilance is long. Warthog Starfield tires. Oh yeah, the exoskeletal frame tires. Yeah, I think it looks cool. You know, I don't really care about stuff like that so much. You know, if people lose their shit over it, hey, listen. I care if the game's gonna be fun to play, and it's just Halo 1 again. So I don't see how it won't be fun to play. You know, there's sprint in it, and they said that's toggleable and disableable. I think a smarter move would have it be turned off by default, but you know, that's up to them. Why can I not? Oh, there we go. Alexa, dismiss. The Orion, I put the gray texture on. It looks really nice. I really liked the plating of that vanilla Starborn texture, because this is actually for something to do with the Starborn temple. This the plating texture look, but it only came in the black, and I wanted to give the UNSC ships the gray metallic look, and they didn't really have anything for that, so I just kind of made it. Did I put another Phoenix class support ship somewhere? I could have. Yeah, there we go. Look looking really good from far away. Same with the anchor station and the monktons. These ODPs. Everything looks so small from far away, and then you get up close. You know, it's huge. I really wanted to try and remake the Halo 2 scene, so I put a lot of these stations far away from each other, and I'm glad they loaded in. The E-Rod Heavy ODP. This thing's still pretty big. I mean, eventually you'll be able to dock with these. I just don't have that set up right now. I think the anchor station actually does have a docker, but I don't have an interior set up for it. So right now it doesn't really do anything. You can hail it, but...
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, this is actually a functional docker. It just doesn't do anything. Because I need to make an interior for it. And then the biggest non-carrier warship arsenal, the lovely Sins of the Prophets design for the UNSC heavy battleship, the Thanatos. Yeah, no, none of you like being touched. Do I have Halo Warfleet? I have the digital copy. I think of Halo Warfleet. I might not. I think I might have the Halo Encyclopedia. And Halo Warfleet, I don't think they have a digital copy, actually. But everywhere I look, it's expensive, and I just don't have the money to drop on a physical copy of the Warfleet book. As nice as some of the stuff is, I've seen screenshots and pictures of the stuff that they have in there, but... contact with this ship about their extended warranty. Thank you. Huh? Spoon.
Something I can do for you?
It actually just shows the inside of it. I need to rename the Thanatos as well. This is what all these ships are, by the way. They're just husks over... Like, these are M-class parts, by the way, but it's all a sham. They don't have interiors yet. They don't have proper full setups.
Yes? What?
And here's what the other one looks like. I think the one that's gonna look the least goofy is actually the Gladius. Hold on. Let's go find a Gladius Corvette.
Howdy.
Yeah, because there is actually a bunch of stuff inside of here. Here, let me show you. Oh, this is gonna be way too slow if I do it like that. When we get closer. Oh no! Too fast! I mean, you can see some stuff right there, but There's some landing gear sticking out the bottom. A landing bay right here that I've tucked up away in here pretty nicely. And it actually does have some interior bits. A lot of fuel canisters on there. And the grav drive conveniently located at the main engine. And that's sticking out. And then functional engines right here. They do all actually move. They should all actually move. I can attack them here in a second, you'll see. I don't know if all the turrets on this Corvette actually work. The Corvette's the only one that's got like a more put together interior. Obviously there's some texture clipping right there, but let's get this party started. Oh, the anchor station moved. It's not supposed to do that. Yeah, they all still have laser weapons too, which they're not supposed to have. They all move way too fast still, except for the Punic, I think. I'd love to give them some sort of mobility in a giant weapon, so that they actually function. But they're all way too fast and being swarmed by all these UNSC vessels.
We enough left for salvage when I'm done. Oh yeah, you're done.
I do, actually. I have God mode on, so really if I wanted to. Oh, that one's way the hell over there now. that's not supposed to be there.
There won't be enough left for salvage when I'm done. Oh, I got this. This isn't going to end well for you. Best mistake you'll ever make.
Yeah, it'd look kind of cool if it didn't, if they weren't trying to attack me. Anyway, let's, oh, I can't, why can't I load? Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, like, excuse me.
Don't worry, this will all become second nature before too long.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I am going to... different save real quick, just so I can showcase some of the new Covenant vehicles. Oh, hold on. Toggle God mode on. Oh, I forgot to turn my Halo music off. And then we're gonna go over to... Oh, it didn't activate for some reason. Oh, it was already enabled. Tau Ceti, my favorite test location. I'm gonna jump right here. And all craft don't work yet. I'm trying to figure out why they're not working and get them working in proper.
Look alive!
But they're in game. They just don't want to move for some
You'll be nothing but debris when we're done here.
I don't have any destruction models for them That's no moon. It's a space station. Sure does look like a moon when you're this far away from it, though. I mean, shit. Looks massive. Meanwhile, that thing looks super tiny. That's 26 kilometers away. I don't know. 2 for flinching's good, but my favorite in-canon UNSC ship is probably gotta, like, as far as names go, is probably gonna be the UNSC Say My Name. It's just fun. It's good, clean fun. Oh, I gotta get over this hurdle. They don't have a proper collision, it's just a box. How am I not over it yet? Jesus. So I am currently at the tail end of this ship. Tail end. And the middle
You are coming in loud and clear.
is 13 kilometers away. That's how big these things are. quest here, though, real quick. Let's find a ship that we don't like. And all the ships are too fast again. I'm gonna go over here for some reinforcements, because I'm a bitch in combat.
This is pathetic.
Yeah, it sure is pathetic.
Gonna light you up.
A nice front row seat to the carnage.
I am not backing down. Lost the craft drive. Get it working. Taking fire. Oh yeah, you're done.
There goes the grav drive. We can't escape. Ah!
Damn, craft drive is out. Ah!
Grav drive offline. We're not jumping out.
Break in on the grav drive.
Gotta finish things quick. The grav drive's down.
They knocked out the grav drive.
We've lost the grav drive.
No.
You make your match. You're scrap. You hear me?
Eventually,
On the grav drive.
I'll have destruction models and all that for him. Oh, did it shove the CAS far somewhere? I bet you it did. It like glitches out. Yeah, the problem is that the vigilance is a lot of it's
This isn't going to
scripted.
end well for you.
But I can slow them down if I add mass to them and make sure that their mass to engine output ratio is like really skewed. As for making like the engagement distance and all that stuff, I've been told that there's a way to modify it. I just gotta figure out where that is and how to make sure it works in game. This thing has shields for days.
Those will thank you in the night.
Is he chasing me?
Get away from me.
I'm looking right at him, man. Good job, guys. That only took forever. Yeah, it's so crazy. It looks like if this was a Starfield ship, that looked like it was right here, right in front of me, not, you know, almost 100 goddamn kilometers away. Just gonna stand there now. Yeah, they don't have any patrol markers set up. Once they're done, they're just done. so fast, it's taking so long to get there. But yeah, no, the Goblin looks cool. Really cool design. Even the same thing with some of the Banished stuff. Like if it's feasible that the Brutes were using it before the Great Schism, and technically the Banished were formed before this Great Schism, so they'll make a late war entry. 2540s. Out of the way. That's funny. Oh yeah, that's still named CSO Supercarrier 2. I need to rename it. Change it to High Charity. Yeah, see, it's right here. It's right there, and somehow 200 kilometers away. That's how big this damn thing is. It's so big that I can't actually get to it. You'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to go to it, and it's just gonna disappear. I wish there was a way I could be faster, but not without strapping a bunch of engines to the back of this thing. At almost 1,000 meters per, I think, second is what it is. Meters per second. And there it goes. I've never tried to go all the way to the center to see if it pops back in, but I'm way outside of that cell. So it's like almost 1 kilometer a second. Yeah, because 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82. It's almost a whole second. center. They could show up by now. Oh, it's like booking it. That's why it's getting like further and further away somehow. I think it's using like planet orbital data, maybe? Good lord. Excuse me. I can't take it down. It doesn't want to die. I can't kill it. Ugh. Lord, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I sneeze like a dad. It's like 3 layers of dad jokes. I am a dad. Alright, well, yeah, that's not gonna work. I actually cannot get closer to it. It just keeps pushing itself away. Can I even see a planet right now? Oh, yeah, I can. I'm out drifting in space. Let's see if it double instances. It's technically they're 2 separate locations, but for some reason they get mixed together. Any nuclear weapons I'm working on? No, not really. Not right now. I mean, that's it's in the works. It's stuff planned for the future, but yeah, that's you see a double instance. So they're gone, but they're not like gone. And then let's see here. It actually adds another legendary ship here by default for some reason, which I thought was really interesting. Where was the... yeah, it's right here. Oh, I need to, I also want to change to spawn in the CSO. Maybe I need to like move it away or something. Get rid of some of these smaller ships. Spawns in the three CAS carriers though, finally, which is good.
Look alive! Look alive!
Bring it, bitches!
You will be made dust. Won't be enough left for salvage when I'm done.
It's super buggy.
Here, take a brute!
Hey boys! I get further away, disable all my weapons. I can just jump out of there, but we're gonna go to a different location. We're gonna go see what good old Cayenne is looking like. And see if the UNSC ships are still spawning.
Gonna
naturally.
scatter that
Should.
ship across this whole system. This is Freestar Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. And that's it. Enjoy that Aquila City air.
Yeah, there we go. There's a marathon. That one works. Let's. Check another system, see what spawns in. It should be rotated fairly decently with some of the original
This is
ships.
Freestar
I need
Collective
to add
Space.
new ones
Hold
in.
while we scan your ship. And that's it. You're cleared to land.
Yeah, after we check this out, I think that's probably gonna wrap it up for stream. Been streaming for about 3 hours now. Probably not gonna do a game stream tonight. Oh, that's weird. What is- That's odd. Let's see if we can't get like a random encounter. I'll put an area on.
is open for business. Come aboard and let's see about getting you a solid upgrade.
Weird location for your star station there, Mr. Trout.
Please respect priority docking for emergency patients. The clinic welcomes all.
No ships around, no security, nothing. That's crazy. Alright, folks. That's gonna be it for me for tonight. Showcase some of the new stuff. Thanks for stopping by for the stream. Please consider, subscribing and liking and sharing and all that good stuff. Make sure to check the links for my Discord. And you can be updated on future mod content. Check out the Pillar of Autumn on Nexus. Soon-ish, hopefully, I'll be updating on the release of the Ship Replacer mod and an update to the Pillar of Autumn, as well as talking about stuff that's going to come after that. And then, if you like what I do here and you'd like to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-Fi, Coffee, however you say it. So consider checking that out. Thank you guys, and I'll see y'all